Alright folks, so first thing you need to know is that we're going to be calculating gear ratio, and gear ratios is simply equal to, the easiest way to say it is in out divided by n in, where n is equal to the number of teeth. Now, you probably don't want to count all the teeth on your stuff, so I can tell you right now, I can tell you right now that there are going to be 4 sizes, and there's a 12 tooth, and there's a 36 tooth, there's a 60 tooth, and an 84 tooth gear. So your job on Google Classroom is to calculate every combination that there is of 2 of them. So like these 2 together, and then maybe these 2 together, and these 2 together, and this little one and this big one, and so on and so forth. There's not too many combinations. There's not as many as you would think. I don't think there's whether would it be about 9 or 12 or something like that. Not much. So me looking at 12, look at 12, and then every combination of 12. So there's 12 and let's say 36, right? That's not a minus. I'm just saying there's 12 and 36 meshing together, right? And then there's 12 and 60 meshing up together, and then there's 12 and 84 mashing up together. So just looking at these, and I can do these for you. There's a 12 gear and a 36, a 12 and a 60, and a 12 and a 84 tooth, right? Those are big. And we'll assume that this is the in and this is the out for each one. So gear ratio is equal to n in out 36 divided by the number of teeth in. So that would be a 3. But you should always write gear ratios as ratios, so 3 to 1 is more likely way to do it. If you got 3.2, then put 3.2 to 1. Okay, just put a 1 over it. So this one over here, the gear ratio on this one is simply the out divided by the in. And this would be equal 5, but we would write it like this, 5 to 1 ratio. And this last one is a 12 tooth in right here, so this is the in, and this is the out, and we got an 84 tooth and a 12 tooth, right? So again, the gear ratio is going to be out divided by the in, which is equal to 7, but we would write it 7 over 1. That's the gear ratio. By the way, what does this mean? It depends on which way you're going. So in this case, this one, the smaller ones always travel faster. So in a 3 to 1, all this means is this one is traveling 3 times faster than this one. Okay, but that means that one side's weaker as well. So if you're spinning, let's say this one, and that's spinning this 36 tooth right here. So I'm referring to this problem here, and this is a 12 tooth right here, and this is your in, and this is your out. Well, you would lose 3 times the speed, because you're spinning this one really fast and this is moving really slow. So you lose 3 times the speed, but you gain 3 times the torque. So force. So you're spinning this really fast, but this would be turning slow but really strong and hard to stop. So you gain 3 times that force. And then just reverse these. Then these 2 are reversed if you do the opposite. So if you put this one in and this one out, if you go the opposite, then it's just the opposite here as well. It would, you would end up gaining 3 times the speed, but you lose 3 times the torque. So it's just the opposite. So that being said, you don't need to find everything backwards. In other words, I told you to find every combination of 2. You don't need to go backwards here. So in other words, you said that 36 was the out and 12 was the in, and you solved it. You're done. Okay, you don't need to do the opposite and say, well, what if 36 was out and 12 was the in? Well, I already know what the answer is. It'd be 1 over 3. It's the opposite of that. So I don't need you to recalculate that. As long as you find every pair possible here, we're good to go. Okay. So I hope that clarifies anything, and don't forget to message me if you're confused at all, and turn it in on Google Classroom. Thanks.